So, boys,
So what's on the agenda today, Dave?
we're talking about our walk the trail shoot.
Yes, walk the trail.
Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, if my shoulder's doing good, I hope you guys all bring your A game.
How's the target layout looking?
Target
like-
layout is looking excellent. I mean, we don't have to do anything special for it. It's just going to be like last year. I'm hoping the river trails, although we had a huge freaking rain today. It was torrential. So I mean, those river trails stay wet for a long time. So it may be something where you got to bring your boots.
We got plenty of straw. I mean,
hey.
Hey!
What the fuck?
You're talking about
I can hear you through my microphone, buddy. You don't have to scream, man.
You know what a gay horse's favorite thing to eat is?
Oh my god.
Hey.
Y'all need Jesus in your lives. Bunch of fucking heathens.
Shit happens.
Okay, so tell us about your shoulder, buddy.
Just tucked her up a little bit.
Tucked her up a little bit.
Yeah.
She
Fell
fucking
down.
fell down the mountain.
Fell down the mountain.
That mountain's a bitch.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, Gump and I were walking down and
Did you fall on that shoulder trying to like save your optics?
I'm saving my bow, dude.
Oh yeah.
So
He had, the bow in one hand and he had the call in the other hand and just
Where was the beer?
no beer.
no beer
We were
yet.
hunting. Where was it?
We didn't even drink yet.
No.
That's the bad part.
I think that's what the problem
Was
was.
it before like 9 then? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
About to say, bullshit.
For once in our lives, we weren't drinking.
Hey, you just drink your Dr. Pepper and whiskey. Just because Father Reverend's looking at you right now at this podcast. It's all right. It's hidden in there.
I drank last time.
Dave, didn't we order a bunch of new targets?
Yeah, I think we
Are those
ordered.
gonna go out for walk the trail, or is that just the high noon?
Oh, it's both of them. Like we ordered. What did we order? Like $8,000 worth of targets.
They've arrived.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've all
they're-
arrived. They're all in there. I don't know exactly what all we ordered, but there is a shitload of them. There's a bunch of cool ones.
Yeah, we shot a couple of the real special ones for Amberley's place.
We've got some definite ones that are going to be fun on the lower river trails.
Sweet.
They're going to be a little difficult to find. I have a feeling.
So the walk the trails is similar to the charity sheet where there's no cones.
Yep.
No markers. Yeah. It makes it fun,
Yeah.
especially if people are intervaled enough where you can't see somebody else shooting.
Well, so I think. Well, we all walked to Amberley's place together, and what did we
Well,
didn't?
our group did, and then there was like a group or two behind us. Yeah.
But did we miss any?
We didn't miss any.
We didn't miss one.
any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I had
We
to use the
almost did.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I missed 5 on the West River Trail.
Well, you were hauling ass trying to get it done.
Kind of, but not really. I don't know what it was. I was having a bad day.
Probably the lighting. Because you did it at the end of the day, right?
Not
It
not
was
really.
Like
It was,
he started when we were eating lunch.
Oh. Yeah, I know that last year we had this shoot, and Gage and I solidly missed one.
Well, the thing is the charity shoot, Butch tends to make them a little bit easier down on the river trail for the charity shoot. On the walk the trail, there's always one or two that's a little bit.
Hell, there were some of those that were pretty damn hard to find, like that armadillo.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like literally on hands and knees looking back to find it.
The
Well,
Bobcat was hard, too.
Oh yeah, because it blended in like perfectly.
Yeah.
there's no other shoot like it in the country to do the hunt trails like we have down on the river bottoms at all.
I
Yeah.
do like the special ones that we put out there, though. Because I wouldn't have seen the second one. And Brennan was like, I'm sitting there and we're like, everybody's shooting at the one. And he's like, yo, you're not going to shoot at that? And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So,
Walk the trails are fun. I mean, I remember This will be, I think, close to my 20th walk the trail I've shot, if not more.
This will be my 6th.
Second.
I will not be there, unfortunately. So at least
You're
you
not
guys,
going to be there next weekend?
yeah, I gotta give you guys a chance to win something.
No, the walk the trails. I remember when we had them at the old new range down there at the beginning of Adair. We used to be able to utilize that whole back canyon and all that stuff. It was a great time. Drinking beer, hanging out, 16, 17 years old.
Fuck, dude. Don't incriminate yourself on the fucking air or nothing.
Statute of
Jeez.
limitations is up on that one, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
It's past the 10 years.
No, I'm going to Dave's homeland, Columbus, Ohio.
For what?
I'll see my son.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a good
Uh,
Good,
reason.
good enough reason to
Yeah.
miss out on it. Well, I didn't know the dates when I bought my tickets, so yeah, shit happens.
You know, for the most part, we are always President's Day weekend.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's a good weekend to have it, apparently.
Everybody needs Monday off.
Sounded
Yeah.
facetious.
Well,
So we got 15 on the west river bottom, 15 on the east, and
most
30.
of the time. Sometimes there's 14 and 16. Sometimes there's a total of 30 targets down on the river bottom.
See,
That was,
but if you
that was a
say-
very contentious topic last walk the trails because
Somebody just forgot one.
I heard that story. I heard another story.
Shooting the does for a couple targets to make up for it.
Oh, shit.
I heard that a bunch of people. So everybody that I knew that shot walk the trails only saw 14. If they saw 14, it was less than that. It was either 13 or 12. But like the max that we all saw was 14, and we marked 14 on our scorecards.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of people who apparently saw 15, and no one else saw 15. So there you go.
Somebody,
Well, and
people scored 15.
We've kind of always done that in the past just to kind of keep people honest. Out of curiosity,
So-
just
So what do they do in that situation?
Yeah,
If there
is
was
there
literally if
disqualification?
there was 14 targets out there and people they shot 15 and put a score on that 15 target.
Disqualified, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Well,
I don't think we've ever disqualified anybody. Most of the time, if it's within a target, then we kind of bring them in and talk to them.
the problem with last year was there were two stories that I heard.
There were supposed to be 15 and 15.
Correct. There were two versions of the story that I heard, and we could not determine which one of them was true.
Oh, no. One of the guys that camped right there by the snack bar, plain and simple, said he forgot it. And then I heard it was stolen.
I heard. Those are the two stories that I
but
heard.
It wasn't stolen. He just forgot it.
Well, I did hear that I did hear that our target captain put up a red fox, and then the red fox went missing. So, if I did hear from a couple of people that there was one target that was unaccounted for from the trail. So I can't determine if that's the case. Like, I feel like our target captain would have just said, "Oh shit, I forgot one," whatever. And he wouldn't have just been like, "Oh well, I forgot one, so I'm going to cover that up by making the target disappear." Like, I don't know. It's very strange. There were two stories that went around, and I don't know which one of them was true. Either way, it was a fucking fantastic time.
So you want to hear what happened to us on the West Trail?
What?
So we take off, and I think we're at this point, we're about 11, maybe 12. No, we're about 11. We had 5 more, but we knew we didn't have that many left to go. So we get up to the doe spread, right there by the shitter and the water jug. And there's all these guys that we're watching them shoot for a minute, hanging back, and they're shooting does. man, we got all the way to the end and we're missing 2. The only thing we could think is that we were supposed to shoot these does. That's why they sell doe tags. And I said, yeah, is that what you guys thought, huh? I said, that's not the case. What do you mean? I'm like, no. You buy a doe tag in case you hit the doe, you get a 0, or it's a 0.
You get a 0,
You get a 0
instead of a -3.
instead of a -3, and then if you have a mulligan, you can reshoot it. Oh, shit. I mean, we go up to all these does, they got arrows all in them, dude.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I think they knew better, but
I think if we're going to do that, I think that we have to make it clear from the absolute jump. Hey, these are our rules. I don't know. Like, the last time we had a couple of our shoots, I feel like there wasn't a shooter's briefing where it's like, hey guys, this is the rules. This is what we're counting. This is what we're not counting. Like, it just feels like one of those things
There
where...
should be a shotgun start and a brief right before, like, hey.
Correct.
well, not on Walk the Trail. We can't do. We've never done
Well,
that
no,
on
I'm
Walk
just
the
saying,
Trail.
or somebody at least
If
when
you want,
do.
if you want to have a shotgun start,
You'd have to.
you're gonna lose a lot
Well,
of
I
your
know,
shooters.
but at least somebody every time you go and fill out your paperwork to sign up for your class,
it's
have
nor-
somebody
it's-
sitting there like, hey.
It's normally sitting right there. Most people don't pay
You know
attention to read.
motherfuckers don't read.
Apparently, you don't either.
Well, I know. I just know the rules.
But normally, we've always on the back of the doe. We need to just print it up. You shot a doe, -3. We just need to put up some papers and call it good.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll eliminate all the hassle and pain in the ass about it. It used to be that way. We used to do that. But I think everybody gotten so complacent with the way we all thought we all knew the rules and everybody knows the rules. But we had so many more shooters this last year than we had in so many years. And a lot of new shooters that had never shot one. I mean, what was our count last year? 200 and...
I don't know if it was 200. I want to say it was like 180s, 170s, something like that. I don't know, but it was a great number.
Yeah,
Are you guys expecting more this year?
we don't know.
I don't know.
Hard to
It's
tell, right?
yeah, it's gonna come down to word of mouth and also the marketing that I'm trying to do over Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Which I can't tell you how effective that is.
You're putting it on OnlyFans too, right?
Absolutely.
You're
Yes.
only
Yeah. Correct.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Along with the chocolate starfish.
With all your subscribers, yeah.
30 targets. Do
60
we have-
targets. 60 targets.
Well, 30 for the canyon. So what's our farthest target looking like?
That's up to.
Normally, it's under 70. Per IBO rules, they're supposed to be no more than 60 with a margin of error of 5%.
As far as incline and stuff, like slope.
No, just 60 yards.
Yeah, so
5%.
5% of 60, yeah.
Yeah. It's
And even the target that is at 70 is the large elk that we have. So it's a
either the
massive,
elk
yeah.
or the buffalo.
Yeah.
So,
So
if you
could
can't,
push it to about 70.
and you got to remember that's for the or freestyle or however we got to do it now, but the open class shooters, the guys shooting movable sights, 10-foot stabilizers, like most of us real archers shoot.
I didn't know you shoot with a 10-foot stabilizer.
Must be talking about his wiener.
Pretty sure he's not talking about his wiener.
It's big, but it's cute. What it can't reach, it can shoot.
I mean, are you going to give Drake a run for his money?
I've been told.
You're in the studio. Spit it.
Jeez.
Debate my own.
So, hold on. I do have a question about the classes, though.
Okay.
So, I shoot a hunting compound bow.
But you shoot a movable sight.
Right.
So you're an open or a freestyle shooter.
Let's get him.
I think that's fucking retarded.
Well,
I'm not shooting
Because we don't have two
a
different
big ass
Okay.
stabilizer either.
All right.
But you're shooting. But the whole idea is the sights mean more than the stabilizers.
Fixed versus, yeah, move.
Fixed versus movable.
Well, freestyle bow hunter.
I get that.
So,
trying to shoot over.
right, and
Yeah.
we went through this entire thing. And for those of you who don't know, we have a shoot coming up in April called it's the third leg of the Arizona 3D Championship Series. And we had Scotty and I had a Zoom call with them about like the rule book. Okay. And I want to say it was like a 2-hour long Zoom call with them. And we went over every rule, and it was stuff where they were getting into the weeds and they were separating out like literally every little thing that you could imagine, whether it be age class, what we were talking about with the stabilizers. They had movable sights with more than 12-inch stabilizers. They had movable sights without 12-inch stabilizers. It was like it was something where we were just like, let's streamline all of this and like get it to a point where it's a manageable amount of classes. And I think we eliminated a couple of classes. It might piss a couple people off, but then again, it's just one of those things where like it's
Like which classes?
there were I think there were something like over 22 classes.
Wow.
And it was just like it was something ridiculous, and we were just like, let's not do this.
Well, how many people still shoot fingers with compounds anymore?
Right.
Very few.
Well, but that was I want to say that was like male and female shooters, and then kids, and then certain ages, and then all of that, and it was a ridiculous amount of classes. And so any one of the ones that we could eliminate based off of like where it's just like, if you have a movable sight, is a stabilizer is a 12-inch versus a 10-inch stabilizer going to make a difference? No. Let's eliminate that and let's just go.
Well, I would say, cap it at 15 inches but that's me.
And that was actually one of the arguments. It was 15 versus 12, okay? And IBO says 12.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with IBO rules since that's the way everything is moving. And it's going to piss a lot of people off, but it's one of those things where, like, the guys up in Mesa are going to have to deal with that. By the time they get to our shoot, it's going to be, like, it's already going to be known, and it's just...
Well, that's like me. I shoot a 12-inch on my option 6. I run a 12-inch stabilizer, but I also have a quick disconnect. So it puts me up to, 13.2.
Correct.
Even when I shot Mormon Lake this year, I shot it with had a malfunction with the target bow. I still shot the open class with the hunting bow. Just because it was a little bit like, whatever. It's what I signed up for. I'm not going to cry about it.
For me, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference because I'm just going to accept my fate and, and do that. And then, like, I hunt with this thing back here, and it's got, I don't know, like an 18-inch stabilizer on it, whatever. And it's just, 12 versus 15 doesn't make a whole lot of difference to me. And if you tell me I'm in an F class, I'm going to be shooting with Pinky anyways. And that's got a 25-inch stabilizer on it. So it doesn't matter to me.
No.
Shit. Well, I guess I'm good with my 10-inch.
I mean, I've got a custom made that me and my dad made stabilizer out there that in here that's unfinished. That's I believe 31. So I think we have plans for that, but it's a long ass stabilizer.
Well, because last year I got into like the argument with Scotty, like right when we were checking out, and he was like, "Oh no, you got to shoot open." I said, "No, I don't. I shoot bow style or Bowhunter freestyle." Well, I don't know. You have everybody else that just signed up had the same one. How are you going to tell me I can't just because I'm here every Sunday? No, not true.
I think there needs to be a little bit of a crackdown on that. Because a lot of the bow hunter freestyles, they should be shooting the open class or whatever it is. I think we need to simplify our classes that walk the trail, but that will come in time.
You go look at every bow out there except for the guys that don't shoot on Sundays, every Sunday, they have a fixed pin sight with a floating pin. And they have a slider on it.
Well, that brings up a good point, but because there's that canyon runner or canyon driver by Option Archery that has the like fixed pins, and then it's got that one mover on it where it's just like, what do you classify this as?
Well,
Like a 5-pin slider or something.
That's a slider.
Yeah, it's like a 5-pin slider with a window that
What if you
like
Yeah, it
goes
flops
goes
out
out,
of the way,
yeah, it
yeah.
fly,
Yeah.
flops out and then it becomes a slider.
What if you
So.
have a 5-pin? You tell them you're not gonna move it.
How do you control
I-
that?
Well,
no. You like that's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, we're not trusting you to do
5-pin
that. Like,
slider.
yeah.
well, that's
it's
like
just
the first year I shot Mormon
It's
Lake.
slidable than
Yeah,
slider.
yeah.
correct.
I shot it with the hunting bow. Me and Dustin both shot them with our hunting bows, and we both were running either a 4-pin or a 5-pin slider. And the guys like, why are you guys shooting open class? I mean, you guys could just run that and be perfectly fine doing, the Bowhunter class. I'm like, well, we run them up and down and everything else and all this. And he goes, well, you guys are more honest than most people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can just show up in your fucking group and be like, oh, yeah. Did you move that? No, I didn't move it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canyon Pounder. That's what it's called by Option Archery.
Yeah. I was like,
Want to get it right, but and that was why that meeting was 2 hours long, because there was clearly me and Scotty who literally didn't give a shit what these rules were. We were just like, let's get it done and let's go. And then there was a guy, and honestly, I completely and totally understood where he was coming from, because he was the guy in charge of making and legislating the rules and changing them whenever they were changed and stuff like that. So like, he not only was he in charge of like changing the rules and like and putting the verbiage on the rules, but like he had been the guy who had been making it for like a decade. And so he's heard all of the gripes, all of that stuff, and he could tell, like, when we were like, why is this rule, he was just like, okay. And he would give you the entire history around it, very knowledgeable about it, and he's just like, this is why this is happening. And we spent about half an hour on the 12 versus the 15-inch stabilizer debate. And he wasn't, it was one of those things where he was like, I don't think he actually cared, but he was like, all right, that's fine, but here's what they're going to say. Here's the problems that you're going to have. Here's what all the shooters are going to say. Here's what all the shooters are used to. Here's the gripes that you're going to have. Here's the complaints that you're going to have, all of that. And he knows that those complaints are going to be levied at him, because he's the guy who's literally in charge of legislating the rules, writing them down, and all of that
three
stuff.
shoots have to go through
Exactly
those
the same.
exact rules, right?
Correct, but this is not for Walk the Trails. This is for the
Well,
Arizona 3D
but that's what I'm saying,
Championship.
though.
But we also need to make sure we keep our rules in line with some governing body.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Why don't we just keep that standard?
But that's why on that phone call we said, what are IBO's rules? And he said 12 inches. That's the max for the. That's the max for the Bowhunter class.
Yeah, I'd say even
And-
implement them for the walk the trail.
And he said, and he was like, by the way, I'm totally fine with that. Here's the only issue: when your shooters show up for the Bowhunter class, it was 15 inches. It's in the like when we were discussing it, it was in the rules as 15, and it was 15 and under for Bowhunter class. He's like, you're gonna have a lot of shooters show up with a 15-inch stabilizer, and you're gonna tell them you're not in the Bowhunter class anymore, and they're gonna throw a conniption fit. And he was just like, listen, guys, I don't care either way. I'm just telling you the problems that we're gonna have, and believe me, when you've got guys and gals as competitive as we've got at the Arizona 3D Championship, they are going to throw a fit over this. And he's just like, that's all I'm saying. It was very much like very much a thing where he was just like, I'm not necessarily gatekeeping here. I'm just saying this is what's going to happen, and I want you to be prepared for this. That's why I'm giving you so much pushback.
Yeah.
So once the rules are established, are they posted online?
Yeah.
Yes, they will be posted online. Every shooter once you register for it will get a rules booklet.
Right.
Will they look at the rules booklet? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but that's not the people that are putting on the event's problem. That's,
Correct.
That's
And
the competitor not following the rules, or reading the rules and understanding them before they show up with, say, a 15-inch stabilizer when they're going to be kicked out of a certain class because they exceeded it.
Correct. And like the Mike guy that we were talking to, he was he claims that he's very much a guy who's just like, these are our rules. You didn't read them. Too bad.
Right. And I mean, that's the way you got to be about it. I mean, because if you're not, then people are just going to keep trying to skirt them. And
Rules have been rules, and I think keeping with the IBO rules is a good idea because it is truly a governing body. How many other... we don't have any real IBO shoots on the West Coast hardly at all.
No, and really that's kind of split between IBO and what is it, APA?
ASA.
ASA.
ASA, that's correct, yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, it's either one or the other, and the IBO has those weird, like...
No, ASA does.
ASA does.
ASA has weird rules.
Well, no.
ASA has the 14.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the score.
But that's what all those, like, a lot of guys shoot too, is they shoot that ASA because it's got the 14s right above the 12.
No.
So,
no, it's
No,
in
the
that
14
8 or
is in
something.
the 8 ring,
Yeah.
right on the edge of the 5.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, and then
Right.
and then in the middle you've got three
Yeah,
got three
you got
dots
a
that
row
are
of
sort of
3.
like diagonal. Okay, yeah.
And that's dependent on where you are, what the angle of the
angle
animal is on.
Whether the 12 ring is going to be the center, top, or bottom.
Yeah.
I don't like those 3 dots.
I hate 'em.
I think that's weird, and it's just like not necessary. But that's just me.
Well, I think how we shoot, like, obviously, we don't worry about those dots. But I could see, like, in certain areas where you need to shoot one, quartering away or something like that.
Or shoot it from an extreme angle down. And
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we're all hunters anyway, so we're looking for the most realistic spot to shoot on an animal, and it's just like, it's one of those things where we want everything to be simplified. And you know what? Some of our targets, when we shoot the 12, it's not where we would shoot an
Oh
animal.
yeah,
No.
for sure.
Saturday night after we walked the trail, like, Dave mentioned, like, money shoots, fun shoots, like,
After dinner.
yeah. So what are we talking here?
Like night stuff. Like
Night shoots, I don't know exactly what kind of night shoots we're going to do. But I am cooking tri-tips.
smoke around stuff and 100-yard shots or.
Probably the 100-yard. I remember last year I left.
We do, I think it's
It's a 100-yard with a balloon, right? With a little LED thing in the
Yeah.
balloon.
either that or a glow stick or something like that.
Yeah.
So you hit the glow stick and it just.
Well, if you hit the balloon, you see the glow stick fall out.
Yeah.
But so is that the money shoot? Would be like the 100-yarder?
Yeah, that's normally what we do is the money shoot.
Show me that money shot.
I think we have the opportunity to do 2 money shoots, where we have the glow stick at 100 yards, just like we did last year.
And
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 we have the smoke around.
Was anybody like sober enough by the time that shit comes around?
either that or you lose a lot of fucking arrows.
Well, that's kind of the fun of it.
We had a lot of people participate last year, and they had a.
sober, but I mean,
I feel like I don't feel like anybody was just like hammered out of their minds. There was one person, but we won't talk about that. But
Yeah.
like I was good. Everybody there was good. Like, so I think that the
he's trying to get that thing riled up.
coaching it.
Jesus Christ.
Making horse
Come on,
sounds,
buddy.
fucking
You got this.
Making horse sounds to a pony in there.
But I think everybody who did that had a tremendous amount of fun. And I think if we added the smoke around to it,
Well, we don't need
that
to
would
do
be
the
cool.
smoke around at night. Well, maybe we do.
That's fine. Do we want to do it like?
If people are dumb enough to spend money on putting it in, they deserve to lose their arrows.
I agree.
Because all I know is I'm going to be absolutely exhausted Saturday night.
I thought you were going to say something.
Right. Okay. So do we want to do it? Do we want to do it like maybe in the afternoon on Saturday?
You'd have to put a time on it because when everybody's going to be out there, like I don't know how most people do it, but in
I think the
past 4
smoke around,
years-
if we do the smoke around, it'd be fun to do. Like, I'll be obviously out because I'm cooking dinner,
Right.
but before dinner.
Right.
Like that 4:30, 5 o'clock time
I
frame.
say
Yeah, but-
after dinner,
but-
everybody's just housed.
Yeah, but
Can't even draw their bow back.
all
Half
of
in the bag. Carbon meets metal, bud.
But I mean, honestly, like all of us are gonna be out of it anyways because I'm gonna be filming most of it. So I'm gonna be out, and then Gump's gonna be cooking, and then everybody else is gonna be doing that. Like,
Well, so if we do it though, I think we need to have a time because usually I'll shoot 2 river bottoms on Saturday, then Sunday morning shoot the canyon.
Well, you're gonna want to shoot the canyon on Saturday, but like,
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't even know if I'm going to shoot it yet, but we'll see.
well,
don't do it. Don't fuck your shoulder.
There is a lot of shots to.
dude, it's not worth. If you do sign up, just save it and shoot a river bottom, couple river bottoms,
Yeah.
because we shoot the canyon all the time. Normally, what I like to do is I like to shoot one river bottom in the morning on Saturday.
I really
Hit the
hope that
canyon.
we can't hear him pissing lead over
Yeah.
there. I'm sorry.
Well, so I know a lot of people that shoot the river bottom in the morning, the canyon in the afternoon. It puts you about 4:30 when you're done.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm all down with that. And then, because Sunday, like last year, it was close. I think I turned in my scorecard at like 11:40.
Doing the canyon on Sunday is too much.
Like Dave did it, and he started
Well,
way earlier than we did.
Well, if you look in the video, like Trent, no, not Trent, Marine Corps Mike and I are sprinting at the end of the video, and we got there at 11:58 a.m. and it stopped, and it was cut off at noon.
Oh, damn.
I thought
So
last
we were-
year you shot it with some people from Blythe. No?
I shot the East River Trail with Brent and his family, and then we went to the West Trail, and I shot it with Marine Corps Mike, and we did a speed run to the end.
Did you get over there?
Why?
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can hear
Wow.
that.
Yeah, it was on camera.
Shit.
Yeah.
But
You hungry or bubble guts?
it was more like a burp that I wanted to make quiet,
Yeah.
if anything.
A little bit of both.
I did have like a bite of Taco Bell before I left my house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had Jack in the Box.
Fucking Del Scorcho.
That shit's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it make you want to fucking shit lava, dude. But
Fat kid at Kmart.
so I would say when people sign up, you can even have like a poster on Friday. Like, hey, if you want to be involved in the money shoot, it starts at 5 o'clock or 4:30 Saturday afternoon for the smoke around, and then after dinner we'll have the 100-yard money shoot as well.
I agree, and it's not it's not registration, and it's really not even sanctioned by the shoot. It's not like part of the it's not like part of the scoring system. It's just some of the shit that we have for fun, and
Kind of
like
like the hike to hunt the PSE do.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's exactly what we're
There's a
going
shoot, and then there's
for.
just a separate thing. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you put in
For sure.
we
fucking-
could even do the 3D out there.
Yeah,
Closest to the 12.
that shit would be fucking
at
dope
100.
and epic.
So
Closest
that
to the 12 and 100 one's freaking. We could even do like a prize in there. I mean,
I would
like,
almost
serious.
want to do more than 100 just to make it competitive.
make it more
and
than
then
100.
Do
But
the
make
odd,
it- but
do the
do it-
odd number, not a solid 10.
But do a serious prize where
Right.
people actually want to come out and shoot it.
50-50.
Where there's people like at
You
the
do it.
PSC
You do it 50-50.
Yeah.
Like 50-50 tickets.
Yeah,
you get.
no,
Hey.
yeah.
Well, I don't know how you do this.
Well, we do have
50-50.
we do have the bow raffle as well.
But we're talking about like we did at the hike to
Money
hunt with
shoots,
the
yeah.
sheep.
The PSC do
Yeah,
like
the
shoots
PSC
at, like,
bow.
100 and something
So you have the smoke around, you have your 100-yard round at night, but then you have a 3D target out there at, let's just say 108 or some shit. And it's 50-50. Hey, it's $20 to get in. 50 goes to you, 50 goes to the club. See how many people want to get in on it.
We could do something like that.
I would. That'd be dope as shit.
So my thing is that I know at TAC and a couple of other events, I think this was the case where we went to Julian. They did like 100 yards, 120 yards, but and they said you have to hit the vitals in order to get a raffle, entered a raffle. But the vitals had a steel plate around it, and then it was cut out around the steel plate the exact measurements of the vitals. So if you miss the vitals, you're fucked. Like your arrow is
I feel like that
fucked.
scares people. I think we should do more like closer to the.
Yeah, and we just set that.
Yeah,
that
if
new
you're already doing a
wall.
smoke around, yeah.
Well, when we did Julian, they did not like us there.
Why?
Well, they loved us there, but they were like, "Holy shit, you guys are just like hammering this thing at 100 yards like it's nothing." Remember that?
Really? Well, I mean, I know I hit it in the vitals twice, but I didn't feel like we were doing better than anyone else.
Oh yeah. There were guys looking for arrows constantly after that.
I don't feel like on those targets it's very difficult to hit foam.
It's not.
Depending
It's
on the size of
not-
the target, I guess, right?
You know,
laying down elk. If I
you can
remember right.
hit ground and skip up and do a vital.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit, we go out there every single Sunday and go to 100 yards, and we're like,
Not a lot of people do though.
yeah, but that's dumb though.
But
Like
that's where the aspect of old bow hunters and new bow hunters, because if you talk to any old bow hunter, and I'm not saying old, I'm saying old school bow hunter, they'll tell you, you'd be like, yeah, how'd you do at the bow range? Yeah, it's good, man. Shot fucking, I don't know, paper plate at 100 yards, out of 10 shots, did pretty good. Oh, but would you take that shot on an animal? I don't know. I'm shooting a paper plate at 100 yards. It'd be pretty hard not to. You know what I mean? So we go back to walk the trail.
We need to.
yeah,
we
I think
were
we
hunting
do.
for a
We
little
got
while,
we
yeah.
got way off the rails here. But,
Oh, so it was
I
long,
think-
long distance shooting is what we were talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think our money shoots are going to be really, really fun. I mean, like that last money shoot, I had no idea it was going to happen. And the guy that won it, Jason, who I called Jessica on accident over Instagram, it's really funny. But he was like, he's super excited for Walk the Trails. So like that's one of those things where
Where was he camped at?
I don't know, but he's from San Diego. And he won the money shoot. He was like that was like one of the best things that I've ever been a part of. And it wasn't just because he won. He was like that was fucking awesome. So if we expand that portion to where it's like there's a couple of those throughout the day, and it's like we're not talking about thousands of dollars. We're just talking about like a 20 here and there, like. It's something that is exciting. I think that will if we expand it to the smoke around as well, where it's just like, hey, you got to get through 10 of these targets clean with one arrow. I think that'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about that guy. We probably had to put like one or like that whole like big long wall. Probably had to put a couple of them hay bales down on the bottom, huh?
Hey, let's pull out all the stops for Walk the Trails and just like there's no reason why we should save all those for anything else. Like that, we should pull out all
Not at
the
the
stops
moment.
for that.
No, I was just saying like the hay bales. That way you could just set the targets on because that's what I was using that one for was to set
Yeah.
them on. So, well, we have spray paint. It's spray painted out right there. That's where you go shoot from.
We can do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, those shoots are definitely fun. I mean, it breaks it up from whether it's a competition
Oh,
or
it'll
just a
throw
fun
you.
shoot.
It'll throw you for a fucking loop too.
Oh, yeah,
You're shooting
yeah.
that little hole, even if it's 20 yards.
It'll mess with your mind for sure.
Oh yeah.
Everybody sits there and thinks, oh, yeah, I could hit a 12 ring 10 yards all day long.
You put
Until
them
it's surrounded by
put that
fucking
metal
steel.
around it.
Until you heard the first ting. You're like,
Yeah, that's a lovely sound when it's not your arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brent is one of those humans where, like, you might beat him every
It's a
time
great
on the
sound,
trail. You might beat him. You might beat him every time on the trail, but when it comes to those smoker rounds, like,
He's dialed.
he's fucking dialed, and it's just one of those things where he
So, yeah,
he
he-
was working with 3 different types of arrows the last time we did that smoke around.
So
and
he beat
fucking
me in the
won.
last round, and then, but Ryan took him to fucking school on the
Yeah.
Amberley's place one.
Oh golly, yeah, that was rough because of the wind.
yeah, I
It
don't
was
know. I was
windy
just
as hell.
like, fuck.
So we started at 20, did 20, and it was fine. Like, several people were out. Then we were like, well, I mean, we're the 3 or 4 of us, whoever were hitting it, were just grouping tight in there. We're like, well, let's put it to 30,
Yeah.
you know?
So I made it to 30, and then I think I hit one, and then I was out.
Yeah.
Then I bought back in and was out again.
Yeah, so it ended up where I was the only one that didn't buy in. And,
That's where the rules have to be kind of clear too, because we were like, well,
dude, I was like, what the fuck, man? I had to shoot like
but
20.
you made more money.
Yeah, I'm not complaining
Yeah,
about that.
you
but
made more money.
we could have just started back over,
Yeah.
and I would have been like, all right, I got this little
Here's
bit
the
of money in
thing.
my pocket.
It's a charity shoot. However much money somebody wants to put into something, let them.
Yeah.
And I think
If
that
we
we
take
Well,
50%,
the problem was I didn't miss, right?
it's a fundraiser for the club.
And they went and like
Is what? Oh,
I was the only one left, like that hadn't blown up an arrow, and then 5 other people joined back in. And I'm like, well, shit, now I gotta keep shooting. You
Well,
know?
the traditional way of running the smoker is
It should have ended at that, and then
Yeah.
started over.
you do 10 targets.
Then pay back in.
Whoever makes it the farthest in those 10 targets.
You're saying like 10 individual targets?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's-
y'all had that many?
Yeah.
we do, but yeah, I was only putting out one, but
Yeah, no, I get
Fuckers
that.
are heavy.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
We've got 10 or 12 of them somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can even do that where you can do it throughout the day, like set them up, and as long as somebody's paying attention, like, hey, I'm going to go shoot the smoke around real quick, put in your money, see how far you make it. If you make it all the way to the end, like, hey, stick around and see if anybody else makes it that far.
yeah, put your name on a roster or
Yeah.
something. Be like, hey, the final smoke
then
off.
you have a shooter round or a smoker shoot off round. That way, people, shoot a course and want to do that real quick, and then go hop on another course or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. I think that like 108 or 111 yard target where it's like, hey,
Yeah, not exactly 100 or 110. just something
here's your
kinda handle.
50-50 shot right here. Like, you miss, you're hitting the freaking mountain.
Mhm.
You hit it,
Yeah, something like that would be really good.